Hey everyone, Stephanie here. So I've been trying to do a full moon reading for a moment now, but I kept getting guided to do some sort of energy healing, which I typically don't do on this channel, but it might be something I do if it is something that people like and enjoy. So let's start this off with like a few cards. And my main goal is to teach people how I use cards to heal and how I use them to clear certain blockages, because I kind of like to go I like these to go hand in hand, mostly because I like to have like a tool with me in order to clear something here. Because when we first start to channel, or when we first learn to start tapping into our intuition, we're not always sure. There's always like that first step of like, am I hearing things right? Am I hearing things clearly? So I'm going to show you how I use cards. So let's go ahead and start. It's going to feel like a reading at first because that's what it is. So for the collective, what do we have full moon wise? Pisces moon. It is my natal moon. I have moon in Pisces, which makes me very intuitive. It can also make me very emotional because when you feel things, you feel like if you take on people's energies, this is how it happens. So I'm very emotional. We have first quarter focus, momentum, and motivation. So we're going back to certain things that you started. If it was, for example, a relationship, we're going back to the beginnings of that. This could also be something that is having a hard time progressing forward for some of you. You feel like you are stuck in beginner energy, or that there's just certain things that like you lack focus or motivation. Maybe for some of you, you are finding motivation or focus here. We have lavender, relief, worthiness, and tranquility. This is a third eye herb to me because it's purple and because it really stimulates the intuition. It also helps us with sleep because the way our intuition comes through in our dreams sometimes is very strong. I've had prophetic dreams my whole life. I've always had very vivid dreams my whole life. This is something I could never escape. It was like the one thing that always proved to me about my ability, because I didn't always embrace my ability, nor did I want to believe it was there. Like, because growing up, at least how I grew up, people would always tell me, oh, psychics are crazy and it's all a sham, etc., etc. Like, and unfortunately there are those out there. I'm not gonna lie, I've been scammed by some myself. But there's something here about trusting your intuition and being stuck in point A or step one. Maybe some of you don't trust it because it did want to come out reversed. So we're going to do something here. It's interesting because I just did a reading about the third eye and learning to trust your intuition. So if that person whom I did that reading for, hey, thank you for coming here. So let's go ahead and get a few more cards, and then I'll show you what I do with each one. And you can change this up if you need it. We have waning gibbous, reflection, meditation, and receiving. Another purple card. Interesting. Look how there's a progression of colors here. This is part of the reason I like this deck. Fortunately, it's no longer, it's out of print, and I kind of wish you would bring it back because it's beautiful. But let's go ahead and get a few more. With waning gibbous, we are focusing on meditation. There's something here that if you can take the day off, if you can have some time for yourself during the night of the full moon or leading up to the full moon, it will help with your emotions. It will help with what you are feeling. And I know a lot of people are going through some heavy, dense things. Some people are going through some heavy, dense energy. I'm also hearing for some of you, if there are other people involved or people who have wronged you, don't worry about them. They're on their own journey. They will have their whatever whenever they need that. There's something here about focusing on the self, because Pisces, I love Pisces energy. I have a lot of it. But we tend to focus a little bit too much on others. It's like we want to take care of everybody before we take care of ourselves. This particular full moon, though, Virgo is like, no, focusing on ourselves, because Virgo is really good at focusing on themselves. It's the sign right after Leo. And what Leo has taught Virgo is that you need to focus on yourself. So Virgo will always put themselves first, not to be selfish, but because they know that if they can't save themselves, how can they save everybody else? If you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else? To quote RuPaul here. Let's get another card. We have waning crescent, acceptance, allowance, and evolution. There's something here about accepting becoming something more. Maybe some of us have become very comfortable staying stuck or being in like one space, as opposed to evolving. And don't get me wrong, evolving can be a little bit of its own journey. It could be a little bit of its own. There's an energy here where some people just don't want to change, but change can be so beautiful. We can always change into better. We also have green aventurine, happiness, opportunity, and growth. Oddly enough, I don't have that on me, and I do have this beautiful aventurine crystal. It's actually my pendulum, but that's my downstairs pendulum. I have my upstairs pendulum. I have pendulums for upstairs, downstairs, and one for my purse, and then one that I wear. Again, for confirmation here. But there's something about aventurine, happiness, opportunity, and growth. So what we are letting go is this belief that we are not meant for happiness or growth or opportunities here. And this is how I do it. Let's start with the first card. We have first quarter moon. Let's go back to the place where this began, or back to the situation, back to your person. Just think about them. Think about them. We always start first by forgiving ourselves, whatever the situation may be, for allowing this to happen, for allowing this person to come into our lives, for allowing the circumstances, even if it seemed out of our control, it's somehow, in some way, maybe even on accident, we have allowed ourselves to come into this energy. And then we forgive the person, even if they don't deserve it. We forgive them for our own sake. If there's no person involved, if it's just a situation, we forgive the situation. If it's a nature thing, we have to forgive Mother Earth, right? Because she's just doing what she does. And considering how much we have done as humans to her, we let that go. Mother Earth is trying to defend herself, and maybe we've just become unfortunate bystanders in her battle. And then we move on to the third one. So what we have here is lavender. And what I said, lavender resonates with the third eye. We're going to open up that third eye. Bring light to the third eye. That's what I do. I bring a lot of light. It doesn't matter what color the light is. It can be white, gold, maybe purple too. Ooh, purple I feel is going to work for a lot of you, because as soon as I said purple, like, the light started getting brighter. I use blue because people have told me my aura is blue. I don't always see it as blue. Right now I'm seeing it as like a gold white. And we open up that third eye and trust that it is okay for us to look into the future. Trust that it is okay for us to trust our intuition. Trust that it is okay for us to let the universe, our angels, our spirit guides, God, our higher self, to come through and give us guidance when we need it, how we need it, and in the most clear way possible. There's also something here about clarity, allowing clarity to come through. Okay, that shifted something in the third eye for a lot of you. And if you need to rewatch this again to really feel it, you can. I will leave this free here on YouTube should you need it. Then we move on to the waning gibbous, meditation, reflection, and receiving. And here we're just going to take a small break and we're still letting the light through, but we're not going to have any intention here. We're just going to sit for a few moments, allowing light to come through and see what messages want to be received, what feelings we are feeling, if any other part of our aura or body is drawing attention to anything else. And when you're ready, we're going to move on to the waning crescent card. Here we have acceptance, allowance, evolution. So what we're going to do here is allow the universe to show us the path that we need to take to evolve, or the path that we are being called to. If it's a path that seems a little bit difficult or hard to accept, or one that you may not even want to take, we're going to accept that this is something we're meant to take. At the very least, find the acceptance here. And know that the next steps will not feel difficult. They will not feel heavy. To know that sometimes the thought of something can be a lot more heavy than the actual action itself. Sometimes the thought of something is heavier than the action, than taking the action itself. The action may only take 5 seconds, but that thought has been weighing heavy on your mind for a little bit longer than that. Now, if you have a crystal and you happen to have one nearby, because I know a lot of you do, we're going to go ahead and take that crystal. It doesn't have to be green aventurine, it could be anyone you want. I'm going to take my Lemurian quartz, which is a point. And I'm being told to guide it to the third eye because that was the main chakra that was being released here or opening up. And we're going to ask, how can we allow happiness to come through? How can we allow opportunities to come through? How can we allow growth to come through? And what we're doing with this crystal is allowing light to come through it. Maybe some of you already felt it or knew and understood that. And some of you, you might be feeling your crystals for the first time. They really do have a frequency and an energy. Sometimes they even, like if you want to talk to your crystals, you can. They'll tell you what their energy is. We're pulling out any energy, any negative energy, anything that feels weird out of your third eye. Maybe even your crown. I'm pulling it back, kind of like a sweeping motion over my crown. Or anywhere else in your body that you're feeling called to pull something out. We're pulling it. We're extracting it. For some of you, I'm hearing the heart. And for some of you, I'm hearing the stomach. If you don't have a crystal, you can just imagine one. Or imagine the light doing this itself. And already I'm seeing your aura so much brighter. And it might also be the camera looking a little brighter as well. The light outside is coming and going. But take a few deep breaths. We're going to show gratitude to the light, to our angels, to whomever it is that has been helping you with this. And if you've had your eyes closed, I feel like a lot of you have, we're going to go ahead and open them back up. I'm going to show you the back of the deck just because it's interesting that it didn't occur to me to show it before. We have the flower of life, synergy, order, and group consciousness. So everybody that has watched this video and everybody that you are watching this with, including myself, have brought some sort of energy here to clear everything out. It's beautiful energy. It's a beautiful feeling how when our energies combine, it's like flames. You get two flames together and they grow brighter. You get two beautiful energies together and they get bigger and brighter, and they create like a shift in the energy around us, a shift in the environment. So I want to thank everybody who's watched this and everybody who contributes a little bit of energy to help people out here. So yeah, thank you so much. This is all I have for you in this reading. If you feel like doing more of these, or if you want me to post more of these, then let me know. If you would like me to offer a service like this for you, one-on-one, then I can do that as well. It all depends on my time and how where I will be living within the next few weeks. But again, thank you so much. I am sending you so much healing, love, and light, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.